What are you, an hour ahead or 2 hours?
2 hours.
So it's 8 for you, right?
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know. I got stuck into it. I don't know how
That's
girls sit crisscross applesauce on like those school chairs. I'm doing, I'm doing that, but I have a big couch cushion. I don't know how you do that.
I just
Like,
sit on my ankles. I don't know. Welcome to the We're Related podcast. We're so glad you're here joining us today. We are continuing our How to Train Your Dragon movie watching series with How to Train Your Dragon 2.
those.
If you have seen How to Train Your Dragon, or if you've heard of How to Train Your Dragon, hit that
Or watch
subscribe
our
button.
last video, or watch our last video about it.
Or if you did anything like that, hit that subscribe button. If you didn't, hit that like button. Let's see how many of you need to go and watch our previous video. How to Train Your Dragon, all of the movies are on Netflix. We are specifically talking about How to Train Your Dragon 2. If you have no interest in watching it and you want a quick little recap, it's when Hiccup and Toothless discover an ice cave that is home to hundreds of new wild dragons and the mysterious dragon rider. The two friends find themselves at the center of a battle to protect the peace. So go ahead and give it a watch if you want. If not, we're just talking about how we feel about it. We're not doing anything crazy. The casting of the How to Train Your Dragon series is quite good. And we are going to start with Jay Baruchel as Hiccup. I know him from Night at the Museum. I didn't have enough time to figure out where I know him from in Night at the Museum. I kind of whipped this together all about 15 minutes ago. I just said, okay, you're in that movie, put it in. So I'm not all that
Big
prepared
wait.
for casting today. But he's in Night at Museum. A lot of these characters are actually in the movie called, like, This Is the End, which is the rated R movie, where the characters all play themselves in, like, the world ending, like, apocalypse. It's a very funny movie. Gerard Butler as Stoic. I know him from the live action How to Train Your Dragon that we watched last week. Kate Blanchett is Valka, and she is in Lord of the Rings. Kit Harington as Eret. He is Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. Ugh, love of my life. Are you having a stroke?
No, you said that you love snow. No,
Jon Snow?
bro. In the Hunger Games, the corrupt leader.
No, he's Jon Snow
Oh,
in Game of Thrones.
oh, I heard Hunger Games. I don't even know
America
Spanish.
Ferrera is Astrid, and she's in the Barbie movie and Superstore, the TV show. I'm gonna butcher this. Jimin? Jimon?
Jamar.
Hounsou. It's spelled Djimon. So I'm gonna say it's a just sound. Jimon Hounsou. I don't know. He's Drago. He's in A Quiet Place. Kristen Wiig is Roughnut. She is primarily from SNL, but she's also in The Girl Ghostbusters. Boo! Jonah Hill as Snotlout, 21 Jump Street. He's also in a ton of comedy movies. Christopher Mintz-Plasse as Fishlegs. He's in Trolls. Craig Ferguson as Gobber. He's in Brave. TJ Miller, one of Will's favorites, as Tough Nut. He's in Deadpool, Transformers, as well as the Emoji Movie.
He is
And
the emoji.
he is the emoji. He is the man. Lastly, we have Gideon Emery as Teeny. Do you remember Teeny? Very small character, I guess. He's Krampus in the movie Krampus, which is a Christmas horror movie. The opening of the movie feels identical to the first movie. Same thing with the ending. Like,
They tried to
do
play it
they
off.
do they say the exact same thing basically at the beginning of the end as the
No.
first one? It's just the same style.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, I feel like they are saying the exact same thing that they just did in the last one, but it feels very
Because
identical.
one, there's a difference, and the other, there's one's the original, and one there's without someone.
Like the opening lines,
No, I was saying at the end. The
like
opening is pretty much the beginning.
Hiccup
It's
basically
the end.
says the exact same thing
Mm.
both times.
Hey, he's just trying
At
to
least
refresh her memory.
at least how it came off. I don't know if it was actually word for word. We have a 5-year time jump, and they make that very known. Bella, my 5-year-old, goes, "Wow, Hiccup is really big and grown up now, but he still has a peg leg." So I think she was hoping that he would have grown a new leg by this point, but that did not happen, unfortunately. Something that just came to my mind right now that I don't think I mentioned in this is that, yeah, he's like 20 now, but his dad has an insane beard, so why can he only grow like a teeny tiny stubble?
Oh, have you not seen the shorts?
No.
It shows Hiccup
I
with like a beard,
Okay. So it does
so he
come in
can. Yeah.
eventually. Okay. This movie is all kind of about Hiccup becoming the chief. And something that really stood out to me about that was that Astrid doesn't care anymore. She wanted to be the chief all the last movie, and she was like, "I'm gonna replace you. I want your spot as the chief." And now she's like, I don't care. You can be chief now."
Because they're pretty much married.
And so that's what I thought. Like maybe she's kind of the secret chief because they're gonna get married. She gets to be chief by proxy, right in his ear, kind of thing.
Yeah. So she gets to nag him about the rules that she wants.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too. We have a glacier in the middle of the ocean, which is a big deal because now we know that there's an ice dragon. And obviously, the big issue with this movie is that they're capturing dragons. And
Oh.
will that cause issues with the live action film? Because Stoic had went and searched for all the dragon hunters to come live with him on Berk. So how did he miss these guys?
If you remember in the recap that Stoic gave about Drago, he's mentally insane. So no. And the other dude, he looks like he's around Hiccup's age. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe he grew up with the Drago guy,
Yeah.
and so since they kept space from him, they just didn't even know that they
He
existed.
didn't grow up with Drago.
Okay. So then why wouldn't if Stoic was like, "I'm getting the dragon hunters," why wouldn't he gotten these guys already and they would have already been on Berk?
Because Drago wants war.
So he just got to them first, I guess.
I'm guessing that Stoic got them first, and then Drago will come in and be like, "Come with me. I'm the only one that can protect you from the
And
dragons."
maybe they'll go with him
No, they
in
won't
the
do that to
next movie.
Stoic.
So I'm confused as to why. So I'm talking about in the live action movie, Stoic
He
is like,
gathered
"I've
all of them.
gathered
Yeah.
all of you here." So when we get to How to Train Your Dragon 2, we have this new group of dragon hunters that are hunting the dragons for Drago. So I
So
get
Drago's
that.
older, and the
So
others are
Drago
younger.
got to them first. Or you're saying Stoic only went to like old people and brought their like civilizations there.
Stoic brought people together like the A team was formed, kind of.
So I guess in the end, so maybe that's just saying these guys weren't that good. And so Drago was just like, "You'll do because you're all that's left." I guess that makes sense. So then they can work with that a little better. I just was like, how are they going to make that like work? Because didn't he already bring all the dragon hunters together and now they're pro dragon? Hiccup distracts the dragons with his jujitsu moves and fire sword. Real big moment there. He's like, "What? I don't actually know what jujitsu is, but it just felt right to say that he was doing jujitsu.
No.
Can you
spray
give me an
them.
example of jujitsu?
Jujitsu is bringing down your opponents without harm.
So isn't that exactly what he just did?
No, he was proving that he's a dragon, pretty much, to
But he's not a
make sure that they don't
dragon.
kill him.
He's a friend.
Yeah,
Okay. He's
that's
just
what he was
distracting
trying to
them
show.
with his jujitsu. The dragon butterfly dome is really kind of fun. Like when he goes and he sees like all the dragons under it's under the
Ice.
the glacier, right?
hmm
That's
No, it's
where it
in the
all is.
glacier.
In the glacier. Yeah, under in same thing. Well, no, it's not the same thing. It would be in the glacier. I just thought it was fun. It like resembled like the butterfly dome, and they were like
Oh
all
yeah,
flying
I know
around
what you're
it.
talking about.
I thought that was kind of fun. I was like, oh, cute. We're moving on to Drago now. We've already talked about he's someone that Stoic already knows.
Met once.
Drago, he met once, but he's like, no, he knows about him. He's a caveman. He's not smart. I think he's a caveman, and I think it's crazy that he can control all these dragons, but he's an idiot.
Oh wow, he sounds like me.
He does not sound like you. Can you control dragons?
I could.
Maybe you could. I don't know. I think you're smarter than he is. Like, he just is kind of. You also are not evil, so I don't
Bro
really
got
think.
into the special ed premium class.
Like, he just is such an idiot. I don't know. I was like, we're
Only
really
real ones know
fighting
what I
this guy?
said.
And then kind of overall, the movie is overall like a darker, more like morbid movie than the first one. Like, it just made me more sad. The first one's like kind of more hopeful and stuff like that. And I feel like the first one is just like, we're destroying you. Destroy, destroy, destroy. Here's a little piece of happiness. Destroy, 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 destroy. Oh, wow. Toothless is a Power Ranger now. Your dad's dead. Movie's over. Hiccup's mom was the Statue of Liberty.
Liberty.
I thought the Statue of Liberty was going to be the Drago guy, but it ended up being the mom. And so I thought that was kind of fun. Like
Statue of
she's like
Liberty.
hope. She's the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty is like hope and prosperity, and she's kind of doing the same thing right now. I don't love that she abandoned her family to protect dragons. Her
Bro, she
family.
did not mean to abandon them. She got taken.
Then why didn't she go back?
Because she felt like the
They
dragon needed more help than they did.
I just think that she could have like sent a letter or something.
And sent it by dragon? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they
But they're
went outside and
fighting.
killed it.
I think it would have been fine if they had just sent like some sort of message. To me, it just kind of came across as like Hiccup and Stoic became the second choice. Like, I think after a while, you should be like, I feel like I should give them a sign that I'm alive of some sort. And maybe she did. We just don't
No.
like they don't talk about it. But I just feel like she never made an effort to go back. But I also
I bet she
understand where.
tried. Because I bet she doesn't just want to abandon her kid.
Well, and that's why I just was like, why does it feel like she just was like, I have to just stay here now. And I'm like, the
And
dragons
also,
trust you. Like, they could take you back.
she probably didn't know how to get back.
I guess that's probably a really good point, actually, is they took her and she wasn't able to. Yeah, it probably was more she wasn't able to go back rather than unwilling to go back.
Yeah.
Everyone accepts the reunion with mom way too quickly. Like, she's like, I'm your mom, let's go. And he's like, great. Like, I feel like I would have a couple of more questions than that.
What do you mean? She said a mother never forgets her own baby's face. Which is
Her
wild because she only saw baby Hiccup, not adult Hiccup.
Right. My babies don't look anything like they do now.
What do you mean? Bella looked exactly like Josh. Well,
I'm
Josh looked
saying
exactly like Bella.
but I'm saying Bella as a baby doesn't like teeny baby does not look anything like Bella looks now.
Oh, that is true. I wonder how old Hiccup was when she left.
Like, Bella didn't start looking this way until, like, 2, you know?
That leaves the question, when did she leave?
Right. Because I guess it looked like he was just like a itty bitty baby.
But 2 also are in cribs too, so
It's just the way that they were holding him, but maybe it
and
also was kinda,
also
like, traumatic. They probably were just like, "Protect the baby
the
because Youngest
scar.
just got fired."
The scar too would give it away, so he got
I
it when
guess
he was a
that's
kid.
true. Like a birthmark. And then kinda same thing with the reunion thing. On Stoic side, he sees her and she's automatically, like, defensive. Like, "Sorry, sorry, don't yell at me, don't be mad at me, don't be mad at me." And he's just like, "This is the freaking love of my life, and she's alive and right in front of me." Like, I don't think I'd go up and start screaming at someone I hadn't seen in 20 years. I feel
So
like the yelling is
insane.
for later. The calm dragon alpha was way less scarier than the last movie's alpha. Is it just 'cause he's old? Or just 'cause he lives in water and not fire? I feel like that would probably stress me out if I lived in
Yeah.
fire.
You like those old gray marks? Wrinkles, not gray marks.
Like, just being in the hot all the time versus in the cold, maybe you're a little more chilled out. Like, the alphas
Bro,
that they fought
low-key
this time
seems
were
chill
not as
though.
scary. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, the
Like, bro was
alphas,
just there having a good time, man.
like, he's just chilling. He's not even scary. He doesn't even care. He doesn't eat the dragons. Like, the last movie's dragon was really scary. She ate another dragon. She's a cannibal. Once again, the tiny dragons are turning into the alphas. Toothless beat another alpha.
Guys, who defeated you? Another baby dragon.
Like, Baby Dragon is
So
winning every single time. Is that just to show, like, the power of a Night Fury?
yeah, they actually transform in well, they undergo kind of like an evolution. They transform into like one of the most strongest beasts there.
So then let me ask you this, if they're one of the most strongest species, why is there so far only one?
The only explanation that we have now is that they're either well, 2. They're either all of them went extinct except for Toothless, or they're all somewhere in the end of the world.
Like, they're somewhere
Um,
else,
yeah.
and he just ended up being where he was. Like in Rio, when he was supposed to be in Rio, but then he ends up in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you talking about?"
So it probably could have been kinda like that what situation
Yeah,
a little bit, like, maybe he was trapped or, like, he was transported somewhere
and
else.
also, Toothless is the last of the original copy of Dragon.
What does
So
that
he
mean?
is like, the Night Fury is where all the dragons all lead to. So he's the OG copy.
He's Daddy Dragon,
Yep.
like the number 1,
So it makes sense that he beats all these dragons.
because he's technically higher up on the scale than they
Yes.
are, even though they're giant.
He's I like how you put it, he's daddy dragon.
He's the Daddy Dragon.
Yep.
Okay. Toothless turns into the blue Power Ranger, 'cause he turns blue. What's up with that?
Electricity.
He just was, like, being electric?
He sped up, and he also did get struck by lightning if you see close enough. But he was going at a pace so fast that he pretty much broke the sound barrier.
But he was just when he fought the final alpha, he was just standing there with Hiccup and he turned blue.
Another secret ability, like the mom said, all dragons have their secrets.
He stayed blue for a little bit. The stoic dying, we have to talk about it. I'm sorry if we're gonna hurt our feelings around here. The stoic death was an absolute cliche of the family finally comes back together,
Very
only
much.
for one of them to die and forever ruin the family. It happens in so many movies. I'll give them credit where credit is due, though. At least someone checked for life this time. Like last time, in the last
Like,
movie with
oh
Hiccup,
no.
they all just looked at him and they were like, "Yep, he's gone." Like, no one checked for anything. And this one, at least they checked for a pulse. So,
And it would have been terrible if he got burnt alive.
oh yeah, miserable. But if they just went up to him and was like, "Are you breathing?" Like the mom did, she went up to his chest and then she was like, "No, he's gone." And so then they were like, "Rip."
Please.
Like that was yeah. My final thoughts, I didn't love the singing. See how I put sorry, Will? Didn't care for it, felt like a waste of time. I do think it likely
Poetry.
was like like historically, the Vikings probably did sing to each other. What else were they gonna do? I didn't look into it, it just is a hypothesis. I didn't love the singing in the soundtrack as well. I preferred there was one song where it, like, sang, and it played in the beginning and it played in the end where someone was singing in the song, and I just didn't like it. I much preferred when it just was instrumental.
Remember when I said it had the most iconic whistling?
Yeah, I never found
Yeah.
it.
Not even when he
Oh,
found the wife? That's what they
I don't
sing.
know. Up to about that point, I was just like, "How is this movie not over yet? I'm gonna claw my eyes out."
Dude, it was like an hour in.
Yeah.
It's only an hour and 30 minutes.
It was a very long movie for
Your
me to
your
watch.
attention span is shorter than mine,
It
and
wasn't
that's
attention
saying
span, it
something.
was strictly disinterest. I just feel like it was a little too
How are
slow.
we even related?
It was a little too
It's
slow
a
and
masterpiece.
just I was bored.
How are we even related?
What do you think?
I although I did do many deep dives into this many different times from TikTok, so that's how I know that toothless is the genetic default of it.
Okay. So they don't necessarily say that in the movies, it just is like it's a theory.
No, they also have, like, books and, like, things to go along with it, and
I mean, yeah, everything has to come from one thing, so why not it be toothless?
they're saying that he's the last one, so Toothless
Yeah.
the last dragon.
What would you rate How to Train Your Dragon 2?
10 out of 10.
Do you like it more or less than the last one?
I like it better.
Do you think it is better as a sequel or, like, as a continuation, I guess?
Continuation, because that's what it was made for, is to continue along with the story.
And would you watch it again?
Always.
How many times a year do you watch these movies?
Not very many times, surprisingly. I just do lots of deep dives on, like, social media.
Next week, we will be watching
Hey team, we were going to be watching the third How to Train Your Dragon, but I went on Netflix today to try to find it and it wasn't there. So, because of that, we will be watching Jurassic World Rebirth. It's on Netflix. Join us with that next week. Thanks. Want to say hi?
Hi. Hi.
We'll see you then.
Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let us know if anything that we missed that you feel like should have been mentioned, and I will make it short going over those. And yeah, leave that in the comments. And remember, we do have a new subscriber goal, which is 15.
15.
Let's hope we can hit it by the end of the month.
Ooh, you're thinking big, Will.
Yeah, my hopes are
Love it.
high.
I love it.
We love you guys, and we'll see you next week.